This is How to Be Debt-Free, the ultimate guide on how to live debt-free. Learn how you can eliminate debt and start living a debt-free lifestyle. Written by R.M. Walker. Read by Emma Bowman. Chapter 1. What exactly is debt? Debt is simply the money you owe. It is an amount of money or other property that is owed by one person, organization, or company. It is not the credit you owe, as credit turns into debts. Getting into debt is very easy, and maybe it is fun for some people as it might impress them. As a first look, people are happy. They can buy without having cash, and they can afford to get a car even without having the budget, etc. But they missed the best part. They will live and drive this car for 12 years to make payments and pay huge interests for what already impressed them. Who never heard of cholesterol? Much like cholesterol, where there is a good and bad cholesterol, debts come in two versions, good and bad debts. Debts can make your life easier or ruin your life, but however bad your debt problems, there is a solution. People and businesses who know how to handle debts and how to manage their credits can take advantage of debts, while people, especially young, who do not have a big knowledge in debt management and creating debt reduction plans, are always in trouble. Debts can also be classified as temporary or chronic debts. In most cases, there are very good reasons to take on debt. For example, students take loans, which are a good thing, but we insist that you must know how to handle and pay off your debts after graduation. Also, taking debts for setting up a business is good, but it depends how the structure is going to be set up. You must have a clear plan and know how much money you would need and, the most important, how to pay it back. In such cases, debt is a part of business success. If you can afford to pay cash and limit the risk of taking debts, do it. Do not hesitate to pay by cash when you have the money. The problem is when you borrow money but do not use it productively. More clearly, debts are good when you invest it and not simply spend it. Taking debts simply to spend it is the bad thing ever. Debts must be under control. You must know very well how to pay back your debts. Create plans, especially rapid reduction plan. This audiobook will show you how to proceed with managing your debts and become debt-free in half the time. Chapter 2. Why do people get into debt? Let's take a simple example. You do not have enough money and you want to live. You need food, clothes. This is life. Serious reasons can be related to circumstances, changes, you lost your job, health problems, and you cannot afford to pay for the treatments, etc. There are hundreds of reasons to get into debt, but most people do not use debts to their advantage. People suffer a lot of troubles with debts mainly because it is easy to borrow. Also, people are sometimes fooled. For example, some credit cards do not offer interest rate for a limited time, but when that period is over, logically speaking, you end up paying double the main rate. Another very frequent reason about falling into debts, people, especially young, pretend or believe that they are managing their debt in the good way by paying the minimum amount every month, without recognizing that paying the minimum leads to years and years to pay off a small amount that can be paid in a few months. Thus, the aim of this audiobook is to show how to manage and create a debt reduction plan and become debt-free. Take this advice. Do not ignore debts. It will only get much worse, and not versus. Chapter 3. How to avoid debts. Unfortunately, and based on studies, people do not deal very well and take debt seriously. This leads to huge bills and debts accumulation and long-term interest payments. Take the following few advices to avoid debts. If you have credit card debts, which is in most cases the biggest source and the most serious of debts accumulation, especially for students and newly graduated people, you must pay off as quickly as possible to avoid long-term debts. Take this advice seriously, because ignoring or delaying any payment can become a nightmare and eat you alive. Learn how to calculate interest. This audiobook will explain step by step how to perform these calculations.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?